Ever felt a love so strong it lifts you up like heaven itself? The Jonas Brothers' Love Me to Heaven is all about that addictive, can't live without it kind of love, where no fancy trips or expensive gifts compare to just being close to that one person. In this breakdown, we're diving deep into the lyrics to uncover why this song hits so hard. From microdosing on pure emotion to being loved out of your lowest moments. Hi, I'm BMR JR. Let's get into what makes this track so relatable. Stick around, you might just see your own love story in these words. The opening verse sets the tone for the entire song by painting a vivid picture of longing and emotional intensity. The line, "There's a lonely vintage aching in my chest," suggests that this feeling isn't just a passing sadness. It's something old, familiar, and deeply ingrained, like a well-worn record that keeps playing the same melancholic tune. The word vintage implies that this ache has been around for a while, maybe even refined over time, making it more poignant. It's not just pain, it's a specific kind of heartache that lingers almost like a bittersweet keepsake. Then comes the line, "Every single night you ain't in my sight" line, which drives home the loneliness. The person isn't just missing their lover in a general way, they're hyper aware of their absence, especially at night when everything feels quieter and more isolating. The phrase sight line makes it sound intentional, like they're searching for this person but can't find them, adding to the frustration and yearning. The next line, "almost holy how this feeling never rests," takes the emotion to another level. Comparing love to something sacred suggests it's not just important, it's untouchable, divine, and bigger than everyday life. But it's also exhausting because it never rests. This love isn't a calm, peaceful kind. It's relentless, keeping them awake and consumed by emotion. Finally, the verse ends with, "It should be a crime how you take me so, so high," which flips the script from pain to euphoria. The person is saying that the love they feel is so overwhelming, so intense that it's almost illegal, like a drug that lifts them to impossible heights. This contrast between aching loneliness and dizzying happiness sets up the song's central theme. Love as something that can both hurt and heal, ground you and send you soaring. The pre-chorus packs a punch in just two lines, but it reveals a lot about how this love affects the person emotionally and even physically. The phrase microdosing, getting off on pure emotion, is a clever way to describe love as something potent and addictive, like a drug, but one that doesn't come in pills or powders. Instead, the high comes from feelings alone. The word microdosing usually refers to taking tiny amounts of a substance to feel subtle but lasting effects, which suggests this love doesn't need grand gestures to work its magic. Even the smallest moments, a look, a touch, a memory, are enough to keep the person hooked. It's not about overdosing on passion, it's about savoring love in small, potent doses that still leave them buzzing. The second line, "somehow it gets better every time, oh yeah," drives home the idea that this love defies logic. Normally, you'd expect the thrill of a relationship to fade over time, but here the opposite happens. Every encounter, every reminder of this love feels even more intense than the last. The casual "oh yeah" at the end makes it sound like a sigh of satisfaction, as if the person is almost surprised by how good it feels but can't help leaning into it. The chorus serves as the emotional core of the song, delivering its central message with powerful contrasts and vivid imagery. The opening line, could give me everything, but it ain't enough, immediately establishes that material possessions or superficial gifts can't compare to what this person truly craves. There's a clear rejection of shallow substitutes for love. No amount of wealth or possessions could ever replace the deep human connection they're describing. This idea gets reinforced with "you can't put a price on the human touch," which makes the distinction between transactional relationships and something far more profound. The phrase human touch suggests both physical intimacy and emotional vulnerability, that irreplaceable feeling of being truly seen and held by another person. It's not just about sex or surface level affection, but about the fundamental human need for genuine connection. The most striking imagery comes with "I could be down, but you love me to heaven," which creates a beautiful spiritual metaphor. Even in their lowest moments, when they're emotionally down, this love has the power to elevate them to a heavenly state. The verb "love me to heaven" is particularly interesting because it frames love as an active, transformative force rather than just a passive feeling. It suggests their partner doesn't just make them happy, they literally transport them to a higher plane of existence. The second half of the chorus drives home this theme with "turns out the northern lights don't impress me much." Here, one of nature's most breathtaking phenomena is dismissed as unimportant compared to human connection. The northern lights, typically a symbol of awe-inspiring beauty, pale in comparison to the power of touch and intimacy. When they admit, "Guess I'm just a fool for the human touch," there's a sense of joyful surrender. They're completely aware of how consumed they are by this need, and they wouldn't have it any other way. The second verse shifts the song's energy from longing to passion, capturing the exhilarating rush of being consumed by love. The opening line, "I'm on fire, don't you pull the fire alarm," uses clever wordplay to describe intense desire while also serving as a plea to let this feeling burn unchecked. Comparing love to fire isn't new, but the specific request not to stop it, not to pull the alarm, suggests this person wants to savor every moment of this all consuming passion, even if it might be dangerous. This idea continues with "ever since I'm yours, all I see is open doors," which reveals how transformative this love has been. Before, there might have been walls or limitations, but now everything feels possible. The phrase "open doors" suggests new opportunities, freedom, and a future that wasn't visible before this relationship. It's not just about romance, it's about how the right love can change your entire perspective, making the world seem full of potential rather than obstacles.